Alright, man. It's been rolling. Let's do this. This looks good.
Alright guys, so we were at lunch talking about what else we wanted to film, and we decided to do a little trad setup since I am smart enough that I'm going to shoot both days of the 3D tournament, shoot compound one day, trad the next, and I don't have a trad bow set up either, really. So I have one of my hunting bows here set up that I have shot 3D in the past with, just not with these limbs and all this stuff. So we're going to go over a real quick video on how to set up an IlF bow, how to pick arrows that'll fly good enough to shoot a 35-yard max and have not a horrible gap, and knocking points, cat whiskers, all that kind of fun stuff, and go from there. So first thing we gotta do, we don't need broadheads for this. If we do, we'll get in trouble. Don't mind those, they're not iron wills, they're in my other bow. Then we will unstring this, put on the new limbs, and go from there. Alright. And Crocs are the best archery shoe, especially camo. Definitely won't find them if you lose them in the woods. Alright.
Get you the chair.
There's that. Pull these off lickety split. And every beginner 3D archer needs Uukha SX Ms, of course. Why not? Oh look, I have a string built. That's the top one. You know, just a typical beginner setup here. You know, just want to that one step up from a Samick Sage. You know. Alright, and here we're going to restring this. Now, since these haven't been on in a while, we're actually going to be careful because I like these limbs. Okay. There's that. Alright, quick check of the brace height. Need one of these if you shoot trad, and a flannel shirt, of course. Alright, we're at 7.5. Way too short. So we're going to give it a couple twists. Yeah, that'll get us close. Alright guys, so we are good here. Now we have, I'm not exactly sure what arrows are going to work with this setup. So I brought a few dozen from home to try that out and see what spines out right. We have some 400 grain arrows with 200 grain inserts from Ethics. We have some 400 spine. We have some we have some 400 spine arrows with 200 grain Ethics inserts. We have some 340s with 75 grains of brass. And these are, I think these are 400s with 100 grain? I don't know. I'll have to get a scale out and find out.
I think 100 grain, yeah.
I think they're 400 spine. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
What poundage are you shooting?
This is 44 on my fingers at 28. So we will find out how they fly. I have a few bare shafts, but they all have big enough feathers to where as long as they're close, it'll shoot straight out to 30. Other than that, it doesn't really matter. We're shooting foam. We're not trying to get through an actual animal. So yeah, see you next time. We'll see how this works. All right, we good?
All right, sir. Yeah, let's.
All right, so I don't feel like going outside and paper tuning. It's Ohio. It's gross. We are going to paper tune indoors on the range here. I have my selection of arrows So I am actually on this pulling 45 pounds, and here are the arrows. We have Axis, 75 grains of brass, 150 grain point. We have another arrow that is a 500 spine, 100 grain ethics, 125 grain point. Then we have another arrow that is a 400 spine, 200 grain ethics insert, 125 grain point. And I am not expecting a bullet hole. I am expecting a reasonably round hole. Nothing great. This is not a compound. I'm not ever going to shoot broadheads with this setup. So we're just going to try to shoot foam indoors. We're going to see what happens.
If you don't have the PVC thing.
Oh, yeah. You don't need PVC. I do this at home. The wife is constantly ordering Amazon. I cut out 2 sides of it. I stick it on a ladder, a lawn chair, whatever is handiest on my range, and I go to the printer, steel paper, I use a stapler, put it up, shoot through that. Just, you want to shoot about shoulder height. You don't want to shoot down. You don't want to shoot up. Just try to shoot straight through it. Works pretty easily. Never had a problem doing it that way. And I mean, if you want to build something like this and drag it around, that's great. Don't have to, though. All right, so this is a 500, 100 grain insert, and we're going to see how this goes. Ooh, I'm going to say that's not good. 400, 200 grain insert, 125 grain point, because I'm not buying new arrows for this. Ooh, we're getting closer. Got a couple weak arrows there. So this should work. Yep, that's what we're shooting. We're gonna hit the range and try to shoot some groups. So here you see really weak, here you see a little bit weak, and here you see good enough. Okay, so we know it paper tuned good enough. I brought the axes over. I need to figure out what my gap is going to be at 20. That way we can move on from there for the 3D shoot, and then to make sure we're shooting straight. With the springy here, I can bump it a little left, a little right, depending on where I'm hitting, to make sure everything's straight in line. So we're going to shoot a group and try not to shoot Luke's phone and see what happens. That's not bad. Let's see. So we're pretty good. I wasn't sure because the last arrows I had going through this bow were a larger diameter. I didn't know if I'd need to bump my springy, but it's looking. Oh, shanked it.
You'll have it.
It happens. It's treadlet. All right, so I'm favoring that right side of the 5. I'm going to go ahead, bump the springy a tiny bit. This is the micro tune from Pat Norris Archery, and we're going to give it a little spin and get it back to where it needs to be and go from there. If you've ever done a springy, there is an Allen key. Just give it a turn, you're done. That's why these are the greatest rests ever. Heat shrink tubing for the win. I should have brought my glasses over. Okay. Close enough. We're right down the center. That's just me not knowing what the gap should be on this. Okay, we're good enough. I'm ready to go outside, figure out what my gap is going to be. I'm going to guess the shots are going to be from probably 12, 13 out to 37, 38, knowing these guys. I'll figure out those gaps and see what happens next weekend.
You know what, Joe?
You just keep hammering.
I'm going to keep hammering. Because I've been hammering. Not really.
Water.
Yes, please. I don't know where to aim on the frog. No idea. Where's a frog's heart at? Don't they have like multiple hearts?
That's where you want to aim.
Right there? Make that gap better.
Making sure it can't reproduce. It'd be terrifying to have a frog that big, let alone multiple.
It'd be scary. Actually pretty happy with the way it's shooting.
Yeah, it's not too bad for literally throwing it all together 5-10 minutes ago.
Yeah. I'll take it. That's done. Easy peasy.
Now we should be ready to go at 40. Just
Yeah, just
no
aim
excuses at this point.
high. Just aim higher.
Yep.
Just, it suits you. Okay, cool.
A little bit.
Great.
Oh shit.